Hello everyone, this is a review for The Last of Us DLC Left Behind. I just have the case because I want something to hold in my hand. But you can't hold the DLC in your hand. It's digital. $14.99, it's on PSN. And what did I think of it? I think it was worth every penny. You start out you start out actually in between what happened with Ellie when Joel got hurt in the game. If you haven't beat the main game and you're watching this, I don't know what you're doing if you're looking at DLC for stuff you haven't beat yet. So please play The Last of Us, the game. The other side of the DLC is actually Ellie before she met Joel with a character named Riley. If you read the comic that either came with the limited edition set, or if you went out and bought the comics individually or got the paperback like I did, the full set also, you'll know this character, Riley, who is in the little area that she's at. I don't know, the safe place, I don't know what you call it. And these two sides are awesome of the DLC. I think I loved the way they did this because it worked out, it balanced out not too much. Oh, this is more of the same, I'm collecting stuff, I'm doing this, which you are in the present day Ellie side of it. But then you go to the Riley side and you get to see how Ellie becomes the way she becomes in The Last of Us, which is awesome. It's not done like forced down your throat of, oh, this is how I did this. Look, for 5 minutes we're going to talk about this. It's very subtle, it's fun. And just Riley and Ellie's side is just altogether just fun. You're having fun and doing goofy stuff. So come into this DLC expecting that. You're going to have a lot of goofy fun on that side, and you're going to have a lot of the stuff that you loved in The Last of Us on the present day Ellie side of the DLC. It switches back and forth. That pacing is also done very well. When you're about to get sick of just doing the same old stuff that you did The Last of Us, you go back to Ellie's and vice versa. Too much fun stuff, too much goofy stuff, you'll switch back to present day. There's a lot of goofy stuff that happens in Ellie and Riley's side, which was really fun. I don't want to spoil too much, but I will say that you go into an area where you put on a mask, and it's really just, it's hilarious. It's just, you're like, what am I doing in The Last of Us doing this? And it's really goofy. You get to find out a lot of the origins of why Ellie does stuff in Riley's side, which is very, it's really cool the way they set it. I don't want to spoil stuff because some of this stuff is just really nice the way they set this up. There's one part in particular I want to talk about in Ellie and Riley's side in which you don't even see something that you're doing, but it's really cool. It's Ellie doing something that Riley wants her to do or whatever, and I've never seen a game really do this, and if they've done it, they've failed, and it's really something special. It's neat. It's just this whole, if you read the comics, you're gonna love this. It calls back to the comics. It does stuff where I was going, oh, that's that thing that was in the comic, and it's just fun. So read the comic if you can. If not, you're still gonna have a blast with this, but you're gonna have a little something special if you are able to read the comic. With the present day Ellie, it's really nice to jump from the fun side to that because you're seeing Ellie on her own for the first time without Joel, and she's having to protect Joel, and you're getting to see on the fun side, you know, Riley kind of rubbing off on Ellie, or just seeing these things rub off on Ellie to the point where you're playing it in the present day and seeing, oh, this is how she's able to do that. And that works so well. This is one of the best DLC I've ever played because it wasn't boring, and it just kept the pace well, and it kept those two sides balanced perfectly. It is the total playtime for me, and I think other people online have been averaging 3 hours on this. And so for $15, you might say, oh, that's not enough or whatever. But man, just the experience that you're getting in those 3 hours. And if you liked The Last of Us even a little bit, get this DLC because it's more of that plus just more of the fun stuff of Last of Us that you saw. What I also thought was fun in Riley and Ellie's side was just the laughing at our culture and stuff in, you know, American culture, where Ellie's going, they did this, or why was this a thing? And just seeing that just cracked me up again, because it's very charming to see that, you know, and kind of makes you think like, wow, maybe we do stuff goofy. And a lot of that was in Last of Us, but they kind of build this even more. I think they wanted to flesh that out even more, and they had more to say. There was parts that kind of freaked me out, even in the DLC, but it was fun. And then you jump back to, am I doing this? Like, there's a part where, well, I don't want to spoil it, but you're going to this fun area in Riley and Ellie's, and it's just like, wow, like, no game has ever took you to these places before in these certain times, and you kind of just get to play. You get to play in Riley and Ellie's parts. And also another part I want to say about that is the story. The story in this is, you get to explore not only, as I said before, Ellie and how Ellie gets to be who she is, but Riley herself too, and kind of these two fighting back and forth of, they fight back and forth of, you know, the Fireflies that we got to hear about in The Last of Us, and was a major part of that. But you get to see these two characters interact, and it's very interesting. Of course, I don't want to go into spoilers. You know, how this ends up in the DLC is it was pretty surprising. Kind of the sequence of events leads up to something, and you get to just see Ellie's deeper into her character, and kind of makes you think like, oh, you know, just you get to see what you didn't see in The Last of Us, which is interesting, because you might see in The Last of Us people said, oh, she's annoying, she's obnoxious. People said that, and it's like, oh no, this is a character, and this is how she developed, and this is who she is. And I think they did just an amazing job with the dialogue. The dialogue is, if you played The Last of Us, it's more of that. It's more of just brilliant, 10 out of 10, you know, just storytelling and dialogue, and just very real feeling of the conversations. So get this game. I know I've rambled on enough, but please, 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 if you've played The Last of Us, if you've played this freaking game, get the DLC. Are you nuts? You might be nuts if you don't get it. So check it out. Thanks, guys. If you enjoyed this, please like or subscribe. I've seen people say that. I think that just feels goofy. I've just started out this channel. But do it, because, you know, you guys can comment and say what you want to see more of, or you think I'm doing crappy at. I'll do more figure reviews, I'll do more gaming stuff. That's what this channel is going to be like. So if you like it, subscribe to my channel, and I'll be putting out a lot of, you know, these reviews on recent stuff. I'll be trying to pump this stuff out. So I'm excited. Please go get this game, Last of Us Left Behind, on PSN. You won't regret it. I've done a lot of stuff with my hands. Look at my hands. See you later. Bye-bye.